Hello everybody, this is your boy the Green Talents coming with a video that I need to do at the very moment. Earlier today I was on YouTube like I normally are, where I do a lot of video watching of my some of my favorite Eagle content creators, and one of them came with a point that it kind of made sense to me that I feel I need to make this video on because it's kind of vital. And what I mean by vital, I mean that it's very serious that I make the video. Okay, let's do let's do a comparison video. Today, this probably gonna be the first time and maybe the first and only video that I'm going to do based on comparison. A lot of people on YouTube and some people in Facebook land and most of the social media in the country were trying to compare Nelson Agholor to Jalen Reagor. Okay, there's a big difference between the two. Let's start with the draft pick. First of all, Nelson Agholor was drafted in 2015 by none other than Chip Kelly, and the reason why he drafted Nelson Agholor that year was because the following year not the following year but the year before he got rid of none other than Deshaun Jackson, who wound up signing with the Washington Redskins at the time. So he had some receivers that he came in, but he drafted one receiver, and that was Nelson Agholor. Now, if you guys remember, Nelson Agholor in his first year didn't do well. The second year he did okay, which was 2016, which was the year that Peterson became head coach. And when Peterson became head coach, he brought in a flurry of new coaches. And one of the coaches that he brought in, I forget the wide receiver coach name, but he wound up being promoted to offensive coordinator the year before, I mean the year after, and he got canned the year before he was fired. And so this Aguilar played a very good role in the Eagles winning that first Super Bowl in the 2017 campaign. I mean, the guy was catching balls all over the place. Whatever that wide receiver coach did, he did to Nelson Agholor that year. And the following year, which was 2018, which was the year that Frank Reach left the following year, which was the year after they won a Super Bowl. And when Frank Reach left to become head coach of the Colts, this guy was promoted to offensive coordinator. And this guy had never been an offensive coordinator in his entire life. So when he became offensive coordinator, that left a big void in the receivers coaching ranks. And Nelson Aguilar started to fade 2018 and 2019, which was the year that he was released. And when he got released that year, he wound up signing with the Oakland Raiders, 1 year deal. 2020 last season, he signed with the New England Patriots. He was New England Patriots as we currently speak. And so the guy had a pretty good career when he. I'm not gonna say he had a pretty good career, but he had a subpar career. Cause I think the second year he picked up about 700 or 800 yards. The year they won the Super Bowl. If you guys remember, I mean the guy was running all kind of routes, out route anyway because he had the speed. I mean he had the necessary speed for Carson to toss the ball over the middle. And there's Agholor was a very good receiver that year. And like I said, when the wide receiver became offensive coordinator, they brought another wide receiver coach. And that guy came from the University of North Carolina. I forgot his name is Gunther or whatever his name was. He brought in the new wide receiver coach 2018. But he left the following year, 2019, and they brought in another wide receiver coach, which was name is who's now with the Eagles now. His name is Aaron. I forgot his guy name, but he with the Eagles now. And but before he became wide receiver coach, promoted wide receiver coach rather, there's Aguilar was gone. Need I remind you? You know what I'm saying? So now after I'm done with this Aguilar. Now to get to Jalen Reagor. Oh boy. Um, Jalen Reagor was drafted 2019. He was when he got drafted, which was the year they let Nelson go. He was supposed to be the heir apparent to Nelson Agholor. When he was released, they drafted Jalen Reagor. Now Jalen Reagor didn't do good in his first year because he was out. He was often on the practice field. His development started to decrease, and he wasn't getting any playing time. So his injury, that his rookie year, played that season. So he wasn't that very good in first year, but the second year, which was last year, when he came back, he wasn't doing very good then. Um, and last season, 2020, his season, I think he only caught about 3 or 4 passes. He was better on the field then, but now this year, it's like his first, second, and third season was mediocre. I mean, he couldn't stay on the field. He couldn't catch balls. He couldn't run routes. Um, Last games, the game against the New York Giants, is self-evident. And the reason why I say that is because the guy cannot catch balls. He's not a wide receiver. He's more of a special teams ace and the wide receiver. And if you guys look at his career during his TCU days, remember that guy was drafted out of TCU, and when he was drafted, he wasn't even supposed to be a first round draft pick, but his stock was rising. But he wasn't. He was scheduled to be no later than a bottom 20 in the first round, going into the second round. Now, had the Eagles drafted him in the second or third round, it would be a different story, because Jago Whiteside was drafted 2019 as well, and they drafted him in place of DK Metcalf, who was drafted 2 years ago by the Seattle Seahawks. So then you had Justin Jefferson, and you had some other guys that played way better, and even Claypool with the Pittsburgh Steelers. All these guys played real better. They all drafted 2019. That year, they all played way better than Nelson Agholor. So I'm sorry, not Nelson Agholor, but Reagor. Out of all those wide receivers that was drafted in 2019 draft, they all played way better than Reagor. Reagor, the only wide receiver that was drafted in the first round that didn't play well. He was drafted because of his injuries, and he came back in the second year, and he had injury then. The injury bug beat him in the second year, and now the third. Now this year, the first year, he's been healthy all season, and looked like those 2 years played his development. And so that's one of the reasons why he's being viewed as a bust. Because the fact is, he had not matured into the receiver that we thought that he would be. So we can't compare Nelson Agholor to Jalen Reagor, even though they both are the same stature and height. They both were 6 feet, no more than 6 feet. They both were 6 feet or shorter. You know what I'm saying? So those two cannot compare, because if you go by statistics, Nelson Agholor has better statistics in his rookie year than Reagor did. In his second year, he had a better statistics than Reagor. Now the third year, which was 2019, the year he was cut because 2018, 18, 17, so yeah, 15, 16, 15, the year he was drafted. 2016, he didn't play well. He didn't play well. His third year, 2018, 2017, he played real well. So if you go back and look at all the years, Jalen Reagor, Nelson Agholor even had a 50-year option that renewed. So if you count 2015, 16, 17, 18, 19. 19 was the last year he played with the Philadelphia Eagles. That year he was cut after that year. After the 2019 campaign, which was also the year that they drafted Jalen Reagor. See, Jalen Reagor is not going into his third year. So if you look at the statistics between Jalen Reagor and the statistics between Nelson Agholor sits a little bit more higher than Jalen Reagor. So we can't. So we only need to be comparing the two because they are nothing alike. Like I said, they may be the same height and weight, but as far as statistics, Nelson Agholor has that. Don't get me wrong. I'm not praising Nelson Agholor because, like I said, the year the year before he was cut, he had a horrible year. He was dropping passes, running bad routes, and wasn't doing a very good season. And after 2017, 18 when he had that bad year, 19 he was cut after the 2018 season. That year he was cut. So 19th the year Reagor was drafted. 2020, 19 and 20 was hurt, and this year, like I said, the first time that he's been healthy. So it wouldn't surprise me none if the Eagles release Reagor. They ain't gonna renew it. They are not. The Eagles will not renew Jalen Reagor's 50-year option. He not even gonna be offered that. See, the reason why Nelson Agholor was offered his 50-year option because if you look at, like I said, if you look at statistics, in first year 2015 he played but didn't play well. 2016 when the Eagles traded coach, got another coach, which was Pearson, he played really well. His second year, his third year, he showed a big development. In his third year, with 2017, the year they won the Super Bowl. In 2018, he took a back fall because the fact is the wide receiver coach was promoted to offensive coordinator. And in 2018 is the year that 18, 19, 20, no. Well, yeah, I'm right. 2015, 16, 17, 18. 18, 15, 16, 17, 18. 18 when he had a bad year. I'm sure get that right. He had a bad season. Like I said, he took a back burner. You know what I'm saying? In his fourth year. The Eagles let him go after 2018. They gave him a 50-year option, but the 50-year option wasn't renewed. Well, it was renewed, but when they cut him, he wasn't due that amount of money in that 50-year option. So the Eagles actually took a major cap hit when they released Nelson Agholor after his fourth year. They took a major cap hit because the Eagles renewed his 50-year option, and that's the reason why the Eagles had a back burner that time, and then after in 2020, and when they cleared the cap after that year, but now when they got rid of Carson Wentz last year, I'm sorry, get Carson Wentz. They traded Carson Wentz this season, this off season. They traded off season, and so the Eagles took a major cap hit then. So the cap hit grew after the Nelson Agholor release. A lot of people haven't thought about that, but I have. That's why I'm making a video for you guys now because, like I said, there's no comparison to the two. We cannot compare Nelson Agholor to Jalen Reagor. They are nothing alike. Jalen Reagor had 3 bad seasons. His first year, like I said, first year he was hurt. He played. You got to remember he caught that one ball in week 1, and after that, the rest of the season, we didn't see that guy. We didn't see Nelson Agholor no more other than like week 12, 13, something like that, because he was on IR for a long time. He came back later in the year and then played well when he came back later in the year. 2019, he played and got hurt again. 2020, he played but didn't see the field because the Eagles brought in Deshaun Jackson, and so that kind of hurt his development then. And they cut Nelson Agholor 2019. Well, I'm sorry. 2019 is the year we got Deshaun Jackson. That year. And Nelson Agholor was cut that same year. When they brought in Deshaun Jackson. I'm sorry. They cut him and they brought in Deshaun Jackson. Yeah, that's right. I'm going to get my things correct on the video. So, yeah. Nelson Agholor had a bad year. I mean, his first year was bad. Second year was okay. Third year, 2008 and 2017, when he won a Super Bowl, he had like 800 yards for the season. 18, I think he got hurt 2018, but they renewed his fifth year option. After that, out of 18, 2015, 2019, it's the year he was cut, and they brought in Deshaun Jackson. 2020, last year, Deshaun Jackson got hurt, you know what I'm saying, and his season was done. They cut Deshaun Jackson this season. This season alone. So, I mean, it's so much. It's so much to process because I'm trying to be sure that what I'm saying is correct for you guys, so you all get an understanding of what's going on. Because, like I said before, we cannot compare Nelson Agholor, Deshaun. I mean, with Jalen Reagor. They are nowhere near alike. Like I said, if you look at the tickets alone, Nelson Agholor the tickets is way much better than Reagor. Reagor altogether got about 500 yards. Cause this year he got over 200 yards this season. Last year, I think he got like 100 yards last year. And I said he got about 400 yards altogether, and that's just in 2 seasons. Nelson Agholor got over 1,000 yards from 2015 when he was drafted to 2019 when he was cut. 1,000 yards altogether, and got about 12 or 13 touchdowns. Is what I want to say, or 20. So his statistics is way better than Jalen Reagor. So we out there in the Eagles Nation need to start comparing the two, and need to start referring the two, because I'm seeing a lot of YouTubers out there, a lot of Eagles YouTubers comparing both of them, and we can't be doing that. You know what I'm saying? I know he has his names out there. Some people call him Nelson Stinkalor, or some people call him Nelson Domalor, or whatever. I mean, the man has a bunch of bad names out there, but it is what it is with Nelson Agholor. But if you look at both guys, Jalen Reagor and Nelson Agholor, I think this is way better than Jalen Reagor. So, without any further ado, I just want to make this video for you guys because, like I said, we really need to stop comparing the two because they are nothing alike. So, Nelson Agholor wasn't no bust. He just wasn't the best receiver at that time. Jalen Reagor is looking more and more like a bust because he had back-to-back injury seasons, and this is the first year that he's been healthy all year. He gets those back-to-back injuries plagued his development. So he left more now than a special teams ace. Like I said, he can't even return kicks. He can't even return punts. He can't do none of those because for some reason his development was slowed. So without any further ado, and if you're on a high note, comment, like, share, subscribe, notification bell on top so you know when I do a video. Come direct from me to you for you to enjoy. If you enjoy and pleasure, this is your boy the Green Titan coming to another video. Peace, enjoy your night, people. What the hell? They're going up here.